Happy Friday, everybody. We're gonna make some Swedish rye bread today. And Bargie says hello to all the subscribers. Okay, let's start off with the recipe. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is get a half a cup of warm water, and you're gonna put 4.5 teaspoons of yeast in it and let that get foamy. The next thing you need to do is get a saucepan, get 2 cups of milk and a half stick of butter, and melt your butter, and I'll be back. Okay, once that starts to warm up, you're gonna put in a little less than 1/4 cup of sugar and stir everything up till your butter melts, and then you're gonna just take that off the heat. While your butter is still melting, you need 3/4 cups of molasses. That's gonna go in your mixing bowl. And also just get your mixer, your dough hook. You're gonna need white flour. You're gonna need some rye flour. I had to order this on Amazon because I couldn't find any rye flour in the store. And I'll be back. Okay, once your butter and milk are ready, just set it aside for about 5 minutes and just let it cool off. You want it lukewarm. And I'm getting my bowl ready. You're gonna have to grease a bowl for the dough. So I'm just getting all this stuff ready. Okay, at this time you have your 3/4 cup of molasses in. You're gonna add 2 cups of rye flour and just kind of mix that up just a little. Okay, now add your butter and milk and sugar. And mix that up and scrape your sides. Okay, now you're gonna add your yeast. This is gonna make 2 loaves of bread. Okay, now you're gonna use 3 to 4 cups of white flour, and you need a half teaspoon of salt. So the first cup I put in my salt. So a half teaspoon of salt, and just kind of mix it in there. So get this where you have a dough consistency. It can take up to 3 to 4 cups of white flour, and I'll be back. Remember to scrape your sides. Okay, now you're gonna have it on your counter, and you're gonna bring in about 2 cups of flour while you're kneading it. Be sure you wash your hands in cold water, and then start kneading, and it's going to be kneaded for about 8 minutes, and I'll be back. Okay, I put in 5 cups of flour in my mixer, and then I used probably about a cup kneading it. So I just wanted you all to know. I don't know if it's the Florida weather or what, but I needed a little bit more flour. Okay, after you've kneaded it for about 8 minutes, get your grease bowl. And plop it in. And then turn it over. Then you're gonna cover this with plastic in your tea towel. spray your plastic with a little pan. And you're gonna let this rise till it's double. I'm gonna use the heating pad method today just because it rained all last night and this morning. So I wanna be sure it rises. And this should take about an hour to rise, and I'll be back. And here's the other one. This is Skiffy. He's a sun conure. And he flew to us about 3 years ago. And I think it was after a hurricane, and so we rescued him. And he's a good boy too. He's beautiful, beautiful colors. Okay, I'll be back when the dough's ready. Okay, here's Bargie, and he's saying, he is saying, when your dough's rising, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Now, Barge. Okay, an hour's up. Just punch down your dough. And you're gonna put it on a floured surface. And then you're gonna divide this in half. And you're gonna roll this out. And then roll it like a jelly roll. Tuck in your ends, just kind of squeeze your ends, flip them over. And then you're gonna put it in a greased bread pan. And then you're gonna put this back on your heating pad if you're using it. Cover it with plastic and your tea towel and let it rise probably maybe another half hour just till it doubles. Be sure you oil your plastic again if it's not oiled enough. You don't want that to stick. sticky towel. And I'll be back when mine's doubled. Okay, I'm gonna let mine rise another about 15 minutes. It's just because it's rainy here, so I just want to be sure it's risen as much as it's gonna, and I'll be back. If yours is risen already, just put it in a 350 preheated oven, and you're gonna cook it for about 45 minutes. You'll probably need some foil to put over the top of it, but I'll be back. Okay, at this time you can start preheating your oven to 350. Mine are almost ready, if you can see them. And I'll be back. And at this time, just get a piece of foil. If I remember correctly making this, I always had to put foil on the top of it after about 25 minutes of baking it, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm gonna put mine in. Okay, set your timer for 45 minutes. After about 25 minutes, check it. You'll probably have to put your foil on the top, and I'll be back. Okay, my bread's almost ready to come out. Just thump it. If it's hollow, it's done. And what I do is I just take a little butter and I just kind of run it across it. And just let them sit in the pan for about 5 minutes, and then just turn them over onto a rack and let them cool. And once cooled, you can put them in a baggie. So there's the bread. There you go. Okay, and that's it for the Swedish Rye Bread. And I'll be back tomorrow with apple turnovers. Thank you for subscribing, sharing, liking, commenting. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And that's it. Y'all have a good night. Bye.